Picture this, a boardroom in Dubai. $400 million hanging in the balance. A room full of powerful Arab billionaires. And one American CEO sitting there, completely helpless, watching his biggest deal fall apart right in front of his eyes. But then a phone rings. And on the other end, an 8-year-old girl speaking perfect Arabic. This isn't just a story about money. This is about a father who almost lost everything that truly mattered, until his little daughter showed him what real strength looks like. If you believe that heroes come in the smallest packages, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Hit that like button and subscribe, because this story will change how you see family, success, and the power of listening. Let me tell you about Mark Sterling. 52 years old, CEO of one of the fastest-growing tech companies in Silicon Valley. This guy built his empire from absolutely nothing. Started in his garage, just like all those classic American success stories you hear about. But Mark, he didn't just make it. He crushed it. Private jets, penthouse offices, headlines in Forbes magazine. The whole 9 yards. Everyone wanted to be Mark Sterling. Everyone except his own family. See, while Mark was building his empire, he was missing everything at home. His wife Sarah tried to get his attention. His 8-year-old daughter Lena would wait by the door when he came home from work, hoping maybe tonight Dad would read her a bedtime story. But Mark was always too busy. Always another meeting, another deal, another phone call that was super important. He'd ruffle Lena's hair as he walked past, muttering something about "Daddy's gotta work, sweetie." The truth is, Mark barely knew his own daughter. He didn't know that she loved drawing pictures of horses. He didn't know that she was scared of thunderstorms. He didn't know that she'd been learning Arabic from their nanny, watching YouTube videos late at night when she was supposed to be sleeping. Mark Sterling had everything money could buy. But he was about to learn that the most important things in life can't be bought. They can only be earned through love, attention, and actually showing up. Have you ever chased success so hard that you lost sight of what really matters? Drop a heart in the comments if you believe success means nothing without family. Make sure to like and subscribe for more emotional stories like this one. Mark thought he had it all under control. He was about to close the biggest deal of his career. What could possibly go wrong? Fast forward to March 2024. Mark gets the call he's been waiting for his entire career. Sheikh Omar Al Farouk, one of the wealthiest men in the Middle East, wants to partner with Mark's company. We're talking about a $400 million deal. Mark packs his bags and flies to Dubai. First class, of course. He's got his PowerPoint ready, his contracts printed, his best suit pressed. He's rehearsed his pitch 100 times. This is it. This is the moment that's going to take his company to the next level. The Sheikh's office is like something out of a movie. Gold everything, marble floors, windows overlooking the entire city. Mark walks in feeling like he's on top of the world. But then Sheikh Omar starts speaking. And he's speaking Arabic. Only Arabic. Mark had hired the best translator money could buy. This guy was supposed to be flying in from London, ready to handle everything. But right as Mark is about to start his presentation, his phone buzzes. It's his translator. Flight cancelled. Some kind of storm in Europe. He's stuck in London for at least another 2 days. Mark's heart starts racing. He looks at Sheikh Omar, who's looking at him expectantly. The Sheikh clearly prefers to conduct business in his native language. Mark knows exactly 0 words in Arabic. He tries to explain the situation using gestures and broken English. The Sheikh looks confused, then disappointed. Mark can see the deal slipping away, dollar by dollar, minute by minute. $400 million. The biggest opportunity of his life. And it's falling apart because of something completely out of his control. Have you ever been moments from success, only to watch it slip away because of something you couldn't control? Comment so close if you've ever experienced a moment like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. With everything falling apart around him, Mark makes a desperate call back home. But he has no idea that the person who answers is about to change everything. Mark steps out of the boardroom, his hands shaking as he dials his wife's number. He's panicking. $400 million is about to walk away, and he's completely helpless. Sarah, pick up, he's whispering into the phone, pacing back and forth in the hallway outside the Sheikh's office. But it's not Sarah who answers. It's a little voice. Hi, Daddy. Lena, where's Mommy? I need to talk to Mommy right now. This is really important. She's in the shower, Daddy. Are you okay? You sound scared. Mark pauses. Out of the mouths of babes, right? His 8-year-old daughter just called him out. He does sound scared. He is scared. Listen, baby. I need you to get mommy on the phone right now. Tell her to call the translation agency. Tell her to find anyone who speaks Arabic. Tell her it's an emergency. Arabic. Lena's voice perks up. Like the language? Yes, Arabic. Just get mommy, okay? But Lena doesn't hang up. Mark can hear her thinking on the other end of the line. And then she says something that stops him cold. Daddy, what kind of Arabic do you need? Mark almost drops the phone. What do you mean, what kind of Arabic? Well, there's Egyptian Arabic, Lebanese Arabic, Gulf Arabic. What kind does the person speak? Mark's mind is racing. How does his 8-year-old daughter know about different types of Arabic? But he doesn't have time to ask questions. I don't know. It's a businessman from Dubai. Oh, so probably Gulf Arabic or Modern Standard Arabic. I can help with that. What would you do if you saw someone you love crumbling under pressure? If you've ever wanted to be someone's hero, hit that like button and drop a muscle emoji in the comments. Then, in the smallest voice, but with the clearest pronunciation Mark has ever heard, Lena says something that changes everything. Daddy, I can speak Arabic. Mark Sterling, Millionaire CEO, stands in a hallway in Dubai, staring at his phone like it just started speaking a foreign language. Which, in a way, it did. Lena, what did you just say? I said I can speak Arabic, Daddy. I've been learning it with Nanny Fatima. She's from Lebanon, remember? And I watch YouTube videos. I'm pretty good at it. Mark's brain is trying to process this information. His daughter, who he barely spends time with, who he thought only cared about cartoons and toys, has been secretly learning Arabic? Lena, sweetie, this is really important. Are you sure you can speak Arabic? Like really speak it? Yes, Daddy. Want me to prove it? Mark looks back at the boardroom door. Sheikh Omar is probably wondering where he went. $400 million is still hanging in the balance. What does he have to lose? Okay, baby. I'm going to put you on speakerphone. There's a very important man here who only speaks Arabic. Can you say hello to him? Of course, Daddy. Mark walks back into the boardroom, his heart pounding. Sheikh Omar looks up, probably expecting Mark to apologize and leave. Instead, Mark sets his phone down on the conference table and hits the speaker button. Sheikh Omar, Mark says, gesturing to the phone. This is my daughter. And then clear as day, in perfect Arabic, comes this tiny voice. Assalamu alaikum, Saeed Omar. Ana ismi Lina. Kaif halak. Sheikh Omar's eyes go wide. He looks at the phone, then at Mark, then back at the phone. He responds in Arabic, and Lina answers back without missing a beat. Mark doesn't understand a word they're saying, but he can tell from the Sheikh's expression that something magical is happening. The Sheikh is smiling. Actually smiling. Have you ever underestimated someone close to you, only to be completely shocked? If you believe children can be wiser than adults, comment, respect the quiet ones, and subscribe. But this wasn't just about words. Sheikh Omar had questions that would test more than just language skills. He was about to discover that this little girl had something even more valuable than fluency. What happens next is something Mark will never forget for the rest of his life. Sheikh Omar starts asking Lina questions. Not just simple questions, but deep, thoughtful questions about life, about values, about what matters most. And Lina, she answers every single one with the wisdom of someone 3 times her age. Sheikh Omar asks her about family. Lina tells him, in perfect Arabic, that family is like a garden. You have to water it every day or it won't grow. She talks about how she misses her daddy when he's working, but she understands that he's trying to take care of them. The Sheikh asks about respect. Lina quotes an Arabic proverb that Mark has never heard before. He who does not respect the small things is not worthy of the big things. Mark is standing there, watching his 8-year-old daughter have a philosophical conversation with one of the richest men in the world, and he realizes something that hits him like a truck. He doesn't know his own daughter at all. When did she become so wise? When did she learn to speak with such grace and maturity? How did she learn these proverbs? How did she become this incredible little human being while he was busy building his empire? The conversation goes on for 20 minutes. 20 minutes of Mark watching his daughter shine brighter than any business presentation he's ever given. 20 minutes of realizing that the most important person in his life is also the most amazing person he's ever met. Sheikh Omar is clearly charmed. He's laughing, asking follow-up questions, treating Lina like she's the most interesting person in the room, which Mark realizes she probably is. What secret talent do you have that no one sees? Comment below with a hidden talent you're proud of. What happens next is something Mark will never forget for the rest of his life. Sheikh Omar continues the entire business meeting through Lina. Every single question, every contract detail, every negotiation point, all of it happens through an 8-year-old girl sitting in her bedroom thousands of miles away. And here's the incredible part. Lina doesn't just translate words. She translates meaning, emotion, and intent. Sheikh Omar asks about the partnership terms. Lina listens to Mark explain in English, then beautifully converts it to Arabic for the sheikh. But she doesn't just repeat what her father says. She adds context, cultural understanding, and respect that makes the sheikh nod approvingly. When Sheikh Omar expresses concerns about the timeline, Lina translates back to Mark, but she also adds, "Daddy, he's not just worried about the schedule. He's worried about whether we'll respect their holidays and traditions." Mark is blown away. His daughter isn't just translating language. She's translating culture, building bridges he didn't even know needed to be built. The sheikh starts asking Lina direct questions about the business. Little one, does your father's company truly understand the Middle Eastern market? Lina pauses, thinks, then responds in Arabic. Uncle Omar, my daddy built his company by caring about people. He just forgot to show that care sometimes. But I can tell you that his heart is good and his work is honest. Sheikh Omar laughs, a real delighted laugh. He says something to Lina in Arabic that makes her giggle. What did he say? Mark asks. He said I'm a better negotiator than most adults he's met, Lina translates. And he said he wants to make this deal not just because of your business, but because any man who raised a daughter like me must be trustworthy. Mark flies home from Dubai a changed man. The entire 15-hour flight, he can't stop thinking about what happened. His daughter, his little Lina, saved the biggest deal of his career. But more than that, she showed him what he'd been missing all these years. He lands at LAX, and instead of going straight to the office like he usually does, he drives straight home. It's 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. He's never been home at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday in his entire career. Sarah opens the door, surprised to see him. Mark, what are you doing home so early? Did something happen with the deal? The deal went through, Mark says, but he's looking past his wife, scanning the house. Where's Lina? She's in her room doing homework. Mark, what's going on? You look different. Mark walks upstairs to Lina's room. She's sitting at her little desk, working on math problems. When she sees him, her face lights up. Daddy, you're home early. Mark kneels down next to her chair. Really looks at her, for maybe the first time in years. She's got his eyes, but Sarah's smile. There are Arabic flashcards scattered around her desk. A Arabic-English dictionary. How did he never notice these before? Lina, he says, his voice catching a little. I need to ask you something. Okay, Daddy. Why did you learn Arabic? Really? Tell me the truth. Lina looks down at her hands. Do you really want to know? I really want to know. I learned it because I wanted to understand Nanny Fatima's stories. She tells the best stories, but sometimes she says things in Arabic that sound so beautiful. And then I thought, maybe if I learned Arabic, I could help you with your work someday. You're always so stressed about work. Mark's eyes fill with tears. His daughter learned an entire language just to help him. While he was ignoring her, she was thinking about him. Lina, will you teach me Arabic? Her eyes go wide. Really? You want to learn? I want to learn everything. I want to learn about your drawings and your stories and your dreams. I want to learn about you, sweetheart. I've been missing out on the most important person in my life. That night, Mark does something he hasn't done in 2 years. He reads Lina a bedtime story. In Arabic. Well, he tries to. She giggles and corrects his pronunciation, and they both laugh until Sarah comes in to tell them to quiet down. Is it ever too late to become a better parent? If you believe second chances matter, comment, never too late, and subscribe to our channel. But Lina's story was just beginning. What happened next would change both their lives forever. You know how sometimes stories have a way of spreading? Well, word about the 8-year-old who sealed a $400 million deal in Arabic? That story spread like wildfire. It started with Sheikh Omar. He couldn't stop talking about Lina to his business partners. You have to meet this amazing little girl, he kept saying. She's incredible. Then a reporter from the Wall Street Journal got wind of it. The little translator who saved millions was the headline. The story went viral overnight. CNN called. Good Morning America called. The Today Show called. Everyone wanted to interview the little girl who proved that big things can come in small packages. But Mark, being a protective father, was careful about media attention. He only agreed to interviews where Lena felt comfortable, where she could just be herself. And wow, did she shine. Every interview, she was poised, thoughtful, and wise beyond her years. She talked about the importance of learning other languages, about understanding different cultures, about how kids can make a difference in the world. The UN Children's Fund reached out. They wanted Lena to be part of their Youth Ambassador program. Harvard University invited her to speak at their language learning conference. She was 8 years old, and she was changing the world. But here's the thing that made Mark most proud. Lena never let the attention go to her head. She was still just a kid who loved drawing horses and eating ice cream for breakfast when her parents weren't looking. Mark started something because of his daughter's example. He founded a nonprofit called Lina Speaks, a program that provides free language learning resources to kids who can't afford them. Kids in underserved communities, kids in foster care, kids who just need someone to believe in them. The program took off. Within 6 months, they were teaching Arabic, Spanish, Mandarin, and French to kids in 12 states. All because one little girl proved that language isn't just about words. It's about building bridges between hearts. How would you use your voice if the world was listening? Comment with "use your voice," and like if you believe one child can change the world. But Lena had one more surprise in store for her dad. Something that would show him just how much she'd been paying attention all along. Mark's 53rd birthday falls on a quiet Sunday in November. For the first time in years, he's not stressed about work. He's not checking emails or taking calls. He's just enjoying being home with his family. They have a small party. Sarah makes his favorite cake. Lena gives him a drawing she made of the two of them reading together. It's simple, but it's perfect. After dinner, as Mark is cleaning up, Lena tugs on his sleeve. "Daddy, I have one more present for you." She hands him an envelope. It's addressed to the best daddy in the world, in her careful 8-year-old handwriting. Mark opens it, expecting maybe another drawing or a cute note. Instead, he finds a letter. A real letter, written in both English and Arabic. "Dear Daddy, I know you've been wondering why I learned Arabic. I told you it was to help Nanny Fatima and to help with your work. But that wasn't the whole truth. I learned Arabic because I wanted to talk to you. Really talk to you. Not just how was school. And did you brush your teeth? But really talk. I saw how happy you were when you talked about work. I saw how excited you got when you talked about business deals and important meetings. I thought maybe if I learned something important like Arabic, you would want to talk to me the way you talk about work. I know you were busy building something great. Mommy told me you were working hard to take care of us. But sometimes I just wanted you to see me. Really see me. I'm not sad anymore, Daddy. Because now I know you see me. And I'm proud of you for learning Arabic with me, even when you sound funny saying the words. I love you bigger than the whole world. Your daughter, Lena. P.S. Sheikh Omar sent me a letter. He says I can visit Dubai anytime I want. He says I'm always welcome in his family. I think that's because we're friends now." Mark reads the letter 3 times. Then he sits down on the couch and cries. Really cries. Not sad tears, but tears of gratitude and love, and the overwhelming realization of how close he came to missing out on the most important relationship of his life. Sarah finds him there 20 minutes later, still holding the letter. "She's been working on that for weeks," Sarah says softly. "She wanted to get the Arabic translation perfect." Mark looks up at his wife. "I almost lost her, didn't I? I almost missed all of this." "But you didn't," Sarah says. "You're here now. That's what matters. Have you ever tried to reach someone who wasn't paying attention? Comment, I'm listening now, if you've ever missed someone's quiet cry for connection." But Lena wasn't done making an impact. She was about to take the stage one more time, and this time, the whole world would be watching. 1 year later, Lina Sterling, now 9 years old, stands on the stage at the United Nations Youth Summit in New York City. She's wearing a simple blue dress and her favorite sneakers, the ones with the little stars on them. The auditorium is packed. Diplomats from around the world, other young activists, media from every major network. But Lena isn't nervous. She's learned something important this year. When you speak from the heart, the words always come. She steps up to the microphone, adjusts it to her height, and begins to speak. First in English, then in Arabic, then in French, because she's been learning that too. "My name is Lina Sterling, and I'm 9 years old. Last year, I helped my daddy with a business deal just by talking on the phone. People called me a hero. But I want to tell you something. I'm not a hero. I'm just a kid who learned that listening is the most important thing you can do. She pauses, looking out at the audience. Adults think kids don't understand important things. But we do. We understand when someone is lonely. We understand when someone is scared. We understand when someone just needs a friend. I learned Arabic not because I wanted to be on TV or because I wanted to be famous. I learned it because I wanted to understand. Understanding someone's language is like understanding their heart. My daddy used to be too busy to listen to me. But now he sits with me every night, and we practice Arabic together. He's not very good at it yet, she says with a smile that gets laughter from the audience, but he's trying, and trying is what matters. I think the world has too much talking and not enough listening, too much noise and not enough quiet, too many people trying to be the loudest voice in the room instead of being the kindest voice in the room. She switches to Arabic for her final words, then translates. I want to leave you with something my friend Sheikh Omar taught me. He said, the most beautiful language in the world is the language of kindness. It needs no translation. So here's what I believe. Every kid has something important to say. Every person has something valuable to teach. Every language has something beautiful to share. We just have to listen. Thank you for listening to me. Now I want to listen to you. The auditorium erupts in applause. But Lina doesn't bask in it. She waves, gives a little bow, and walks off the stage to where her parents are waiting in the wings. Mark scoops her up in a hug. I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. Daddy, she says, can we go get ice cream? All this talking made me hungry. Mark laughs. Absolutely. But first, tell me about that new French phrase you used. I want to learn it. As they walk out of the UN building together, hand in hand, Mark reflects on everything that's happened. A year ago, he thought success meant building an empire. Now he knows success means building relationships. A year ago, he thought he was teaching his daughter about the world. Now he knows she was teaching him about life. She didn't just save a deal. She saved her dad. And she reminded the world that greatness doesn't always shout from the rooftops. Sometimes it whispers from the heart. Sometimes it speaks softly over the phone from home. Sometimes it comes in the voice of a child who just wants to be heard. If this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And tell us in the comments, who is your Lena? Who is the person in your life who sees the world differently than you do? Who is the person you need to listen to more? Because at the end of the day, we all have something to learn from each other. We just have to be willing to listen. The most important conversations happen when we put down our phones, look into each other's eyes, and really hear what the other person is saying. Even if they're 8 years old. Even if they're speaking a language you don't understand. Even if they're just trying to tell you they love you. Sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths. And sometimes the best deals you'll ever make aren't about money at all. They're about love, connection, and the courage to admit when you've been wrong. Mark Sterling learned that lesson from the best teacher he's ever had, his daughter. And now, she's teaching the world.